Hi everyone, welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be trying to find out whether we're good footballers or not. I'm going to be doing a quick summary of the video, why and how, as well as providing some tips from my end as I watch the video. Alright, let's get into the video. This is exciting. Let's do this.
The difference between an average footballer and a good footballer with a promising career ahead of them, whilst it might seem like a giant leap in class and maybe out of reach for some of you, I
That's
think
a
you'll be
rough
surprised to know that it's actually a lot closer than you might think. By sharing with you 7 techniques that make these players that step above, we'll also break down what attributes you'll need to possess to level up in these areas, as well as discussing the why. Like, why would you even want to add them to your game? And I'll also show you how you can incorporate them into your own development. And of course, learn from the pros when they use these techniques to great effect. But also observe when they might get caught on the back foot,
miss
and the
by
lessons you can
Gerald.
take away from that to help speed up your own progression.
Should have been ready for that.
In today's video, we'll touch on just 2 of the 7 techniques, and over the course of 3 episodes, we'll take a deep dive into each of the elements, giving you the opportunities to try them out at your next training session. By doing so, it gives us the opportunity to really feel what these exercises look like in our bodies, and it gives us more of a sustainable chance of actually implementing them into our game. So,
Awesome.
If you're ready, let's get into episode these same qualities. Number 1, you receive the ball off the back foot.
Important.
Surface,
okay, so now we know
skill.
That receiving the ball off the back foot is an important skill. Now let's see why.
But if as known of how to use your body and shows onlookers that you have a level of experience and versatility to your play.
Okay.
So why should you add this to your game? Well, it's important to have a variety of ways to receive the ball if you're looking to progress. And receiving off the back foot, it gives you options for turning many different directions and out of tight spaces, whether you're shifting your hips and maintaining the direction of the ball, or cutting the ball back to the direction you received it, and all the angles in between. But perhaps the biggest strength is that by controlling it with your back foot, this means that your front foot adds a layer of protection between the defender and the ball, resulting in either turning the defender or drawing a foul for your team. So how do you train this? Well, like most first touch techniques, you're going to need to find a teammate, a wall, or in my case, a log. Basically, just something you could bounce the ball off.
Okay, there it is. So, I think relatively makes sense, right? When we're receiving the ball off the back foot, we want to be aware of what's around us. That's one thing that he didn't discuss immediately, right? So, this allows us to not only receive the ball off the back foot at a much faster pace, but it allows us to make the decision 1 second quicker, a couple seconds quicker than the defender. And you want to practice using a wall or some sort of log. I suggest a wall, it's more accessible, but yeah, it's pretty cool. Let's keep going to see what other suggestion he has. He mentioned 2, so let's see what the second one is.
Once you re-approach your ball, it's not by much, but that can be the difference. Practice a variety of different drills. I like to approach the log, give it a 1-2, little drop of the shoulder, turn and pass. That way you're working on dribbling, passing, first touch, with a change of direction, all in one drill. Things to keep in mind when you're developing this technique. You want to keep your eye on the ball at all times throughout the touch and the transition. Typically when doing this skill, you'll have defenders around. So focus on controlling the ball before moving on to the next phase. Oh, and lastly, arms nice and wide to help with balance, but also feeling for defenders as they approach. So much of the game is feel, so feel. Number 2, you identify a space to move into before receiving the ball. Whether that's to provide an option for a teammate or to penetrate once you've received the ball. And you can start to see how number 1 and number 2 could have quite a close relationship with each other. So this shows a level of experience, high footballing IQ, great awareness of yourself and others as it relates to the pitch, and of course, confidence to be able to execute the technique. So why would you want to add this to your game? Well, that's because in a 90-minute game, you have possession of this ball for anywhere between 60 and 90 seconds. Wait, what? Yeah, you essentially have control of this for just 1 minute to a minute and a half in 90 minutes.
That's a very epic thing to say right there.
Anyways, so you can see that much of the game is perhaps not what you do on the ball, but off the ball. And by identifying spaces to move into, whether it's a decoy run or providing an option for your teammate, it will then open up the game and provide a lot of value to you
Look at
and your
that
team.
touch from
If you're
Xavi.
receiving the ball before you're in the space, you'll now have a greater sense of what direction you want to look to penetrate. Essentially looking for gaps, because gaps provide opportunity. So how do you train this? Well, aside from encouraging you to take moments throughout training and games to absorb your surroundings and identify pockets of space, you can also apply this to drills. One of the simplest ways, and imagine a defender approaching from one of those outside cones.
Okay.
Simply observe their position and touch the ball
So
in the
now
opposite
he's going into
direction,
the how.
driving into the space. Kevin De Bruyne is one of the best at this. He observes the space and away he goes, time and time again. Things to keep in mind is that it's important to not move into the space too early. By doing so, you create attention, and the option you so nicely created for your teammate wasn't really helpful. Just hold back and meet the pass in the space. Also, just because there is space doesn't mean you should always attack it. You need to identify whether it's enhancing your team's position or simply you're just running into a dead end. Now, this takes a level of intelligence that you...
So this is important because I've seen a lot of this in scrimmages, people just running diagonals and not receiving the ball because they did not run into a good spot for a pass, or they're running behind a defender. So this is a very good video. Watch some Kevin De Bruyne videos. Look at his highlights and you can see how he maximizes his awareness of space and beautifully takes his touch and whips in a nice little cross or a nice through ball after. But yeah, I like the video. I think it's very, very, very good. And I feel like as a footballer, I will be following these two tips in this first part. Thank you for watching, and yeah, if you like the video, like and subscribe.